It is 5:30. Good evening, everybody.
I don't think the microphone is on Zoom yet, or
Mine
Teams.
is.
Up there, I'm looking.
They got it.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
Okay. Good evening. This is the March 21st, 2024, 5:30. This is the Monroe County Women's Commission. I'm going to call our meeting to order. The commission shall serve as an in an advisory role to assist residences, businesses, and the government of Monroe County in addressing issues of gender equity in all aspects of society. The mission is to advance the status of women and marginalized gender in all areas of county life. I did send out a pretty vague approval of the agenda. Do I have a motion?
Actually, hold on. I would like to add a public comment to the agenda before we.
I did.
It's not on the agenda that I downloaded from your email.
I added it. It's there.
It's
where and the one I shared, it's at the end. If you don't, on the latest version, I added it.
Okay.
To the shared one, it's on there.
Okay.
I swear.
Okay.
Because I remembered that after I sent it.
What day did you send the agenda? Because I don't see it. I think, did I not
Tuesday,
get copies?
Monday? Tuesday or Monday?
From you? From you?
Mm-hmm.
The last one I got is March 5th. But I saw a roll call, but I don't see the agenda.
I just resent it to you.
Okay, but public comment is on the agenda at the end?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool.
So do I have a motion to accept the agenda?
Motion to approve the agenda.
Do I have a second?
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Agenda approved. You sent out, Commissioner Hardesty, the draft for minutes from February 15th. Does anyone have any changes or updates that need to be made to the minutes? And if not, do I have a motion to approve the minutes from February 15th?
Motion to approve.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Thank you. Commissioner updates. Happy International Women's Month, everyone. I'm trying to think. No, I have nothing to add. I would like to say wish I could be there on Saturday to see our moderator, Commissioner, who's moderating the race, whatever you're doing on Saturday at the library. So that's exciting. I can't wait to hear about that.
We shall see how it goes.
You are moderating the candidate forum?
Yeah,
Yes,
I'm going
thank
to talk about it here in a second, too.
Okay, so I'm trying to run through everything. I always say I don't have anything and then I remember stuff later, but I really don't have anything, so.
I don't believe you. Just kidding. Okay, so thank you for that about the League of Women Voters candidate forum. It's the first local candidate forum, so that's March 23rd. This is this Saturday, and it will be at the main library on Kirkwood in the auditorium. Starting at 1 o'clock is the Democratic candidates from Monroe County Council at large. So that's Matt Caldy, Trent Decker, David Henry, Cheryl Munson. And that's actually being moderated by Laura Rusk, who's the president of the American Constitution Society and of the IU Maurer School of Law. And then the 3 o'clock to 4:30, and Julie, I can give this to you, but you probably already have it somewhere, is the Democratic candidates for Monroe County Commission. Moderator Maria Douglas, I don't know who she thinks she is. So that the candidates have all responded that they will be there. Peter Iverson, Julie Thomas, Penny Gibbons, Jody Madeira, I believe. I will have to figure that out before Madeira. Okay. And Steve Volan. And I just want to mention that the sponsors of that event are the Greater Bloomington Chamber of Commerce, Monroe County NAACP, Monroe County National Organization of Women, IU PACE, IU Big Voting Challenge, and Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Kappa Tau Omega Chapter. No need to register. You can just show up.
In a League of Women Voters.
Yeah. It's marketed as their event. Mm-hmm. And I do also want to wish everyone I'm not going to say happy, but today, March 21st, is the International Day for Elimination of Racism or Racial Discrimination. Because on March 21st, 1960, was the Sharpeville Massacre in South Africa, and that was Black people were asked to carry, or were supposed to be carrying, something called a dumb pass, like a dumb, and so that they had to carry that. And it tracked and controlled their movements, or allowed where they were able to go. So people were protesting against that, rightly so, and 80-some people were killed, some shot in the back, and 160-some injured. So that is why today is the International Day for Elimination of Racial Discrimination. I think I'll talk about the other thing later. So I believe that's all I have.
Okay. Old and ongoing business. Now that we've restructured, this makes setting up the agenda very easy. Just going through subcommittees. So we'll start with the profile subcommittee, which was Maria, Molly, Jennifer. Is that it?
Yep.
Yes.
Only 3 on each.
Only 3 on each.
We will not have quorum at these. Okay. Just to be clear. So we did not meet. It was my decision. I checked in with everyone, but I decided we did not meet on 3/14. It was spring break, and full transparency, I had not prepared, done the preparation that I needed to or wanted to for that meeting, so I didn't want to waste anyone's time, so I just called that we weren't going to have it. Molly and I did go. I was really happy to see Molly. I did not know she was going to be there. We did attend the Monroe County Inclusive Advantage Convening, I believe is what it's being called. And that is a partnership or collaboration between the Garden with Nichelle Wash, the Greater Bloomington Chamber of Commerce, and the Community Foundation. And really, the inclusive advantage is the ability to have the appropriate representation and be given adequate influence and power. Just kidding. I mean, that kind of is part of it, but where's the definition? So basically it was, anyone could attend, and it was a conversation around, it's not a tactical meeting. It's more of a information share to make sure that all organizations, or as many as possible, know what each other's doing, so we're not duplicating services. And I think it's for the purpose of those organizations that I did mention by name are supposed to be creating a DEI plan for Monroe County. And I've asked Nichelle to detail that a little bit more in the next meeting. It's going to be a quarterly meeting.
Can you say what the organizations are again?
The Greater Bloomington Chamber of Commerce, the Guardian, and please look that up because it's spelled Oh yeah, Garden. Why am I saying Guardian?
Because it's a plan.
Yeah, Garden and Nichelle Whitney or Wash, and both actually, just so we're and the Community Foundation.
Oh, okay, thanks.
And so the definition of inclusive advantage is the peak at which diversity, equity, and inclusion work well together and position communities and workplaces as the preferred choice. So the inclusive advantage helps retain and evolve top talent that makes communities the preferred place to rest, work, and play. We divided into we had two sessions. The first session was more of the foreshore, not data collecting, but collecting of, what organization are you representing? Who are you, where are you from? What's your lens? What's your perspective? If you are part of an organization, what does this organization, who does it serve? Why does it serve? How does it serve? And how are the populations served vulnerable? And then the second session was about vision. So we were asked to dream big, and if nothing, we didn't have any barriers, what would be our vision, for Monroe County, for our organization, for ourselves, and then what would that take? So that was basically it. It's always a joy to get together with Molly and I talked in the hallway, and it was just like a little safe space, like a little cocoon that we were all like spoke the same, similar language and had the same purpose and passions for things. And we learned about, we got to meet other people from organizations that, sometimes it's the same person from the organization that goes out in public. Well, this one I feel like I met a lot of people that I didn't know from other organizations. So that was nice to make those connections. So Molly was there representing Monroe County Women's Commission. And I too mentioned, I had several different lenses, organizations or things that I was representing there, the Women's Commission being one of them. So that meeting had good representation and good conversation. I will probably continue to go. I'm not trying to hear myself. So I'm not, anyone's welcome to go. We'll let you know when the next convening is. Also wanted to mention the Women's History Luncheon with the City of Bloomington is this coming Thursday, the 28th. And I haven't heard it's sold out.
It's sold out.
Oh,
no, your event sold out.
My event, yeah. So
No,
that's
yeah.
why I didn't mention Middleway House's luncheon is on this coming Tuesday, and that sold out in less than a week. Oh my gosh, I was so thankful. So it was just amazing. So anyway, I'll be at the women's luncheon, but definitely as Middleway at that point, But wherever I go, I take all my things. But I don't know if anyone else is planning to go or not. And then another Middleway House thing is our Sexual Assault Awareness Month walk. Just kidding, no awareness. Yes, I'm sorry, I'm a little tired. SAM, SAAM, Sexual Assault Awareness Month walk is April 19th. And so I'm looking for people to be captains and do some peer-to-peer fundraising for their team. It is a low barrier situation, so you can even, just sign up for a team. So we know you're coming. You can donate. You don't have to donate. If you want a t-shirt, it is $25. If you want to make your own team and then, get your friends and family and whomever to support, your team, there's, a link and such to do that. So I would love it if we had if we, the Women's Commission, had some representation there again, I will be there, but definitely in a middleweight capacity. Molly, do you have anything else? No, I know.
Oh,
I said Molly, and then I looked at you. Yes. Anybody have anything else?
Tuesday was wonderful. I think it was an event where people brought honesty, and it was really great to see those minds connecting and meeting people from the same organizations that I've worked with and interacted with in the past, but bringing other representatives. I think it's going to be a fantastic coalition and make a lot of changes. So I plan on being at those meetings.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Yes. Oh, our next meeting, though. We'll have our next meeting, and we're going to talk about who's going to attend what, who can pay attention to what, so we'll have other things to say later once we get organized.
And this is the subcommittee?
Yes.
Okay.
And we are meeting the second Thursday of every month. Because this is the third Thursday of every month, and then the policy group is the fourth Thursday of every month. Right?
But what time will those meetings be?
5:30. And Tiana, you and Susan, or we can talk about, I don't know if you're aware of the restructuring we kind of did.
No, I'm not.
It's fine. So these 4 subcommittees on the agenda, so there's a profile subcommittee, and that's basically to elevate the Women's Commission's profile, to let people know that what we're doing, who we are, what we support, that sort of thing. And that who's on that is Molly, Jennifer, and myself, and we only have 3, so there's not quorum. And then there's a policy subcommittee, and that is county policy evaluation and creation using the gender equity lens. And that's right now the concentration is still the jail. And that is Julie, Kathleen, and myself. And then we called the third committee the outreach subcommittee, and the goal is to create and maintain programs and events that support our mission. Right now, the focus is the girls' web design or whatever it's going to be called.
Mm-hmm.
And that is Julie, Jennifer, and you. And then
That's what I figured.
Yeah. So you don't have to pay attention to the other
I
subcommittees.
wasn't.
Oh, okay.
I figured out I knew that was my committee. We already met.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah, I'm just joking.
we have it on lock, and we don't need.
I knew my
I love
committee.
it.
I just was listening to you tell me about the other ones, but yeah, I
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
No, this is great. Actually, it occurs to me that the agenda could, like, we put the mission for the Women's Commission. It might be kind of nice to put the goal or the purpose of the subcommittees as part of the agenda too.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
What's the data subcommittee? Since you're,
Oh, I thought you knew it all.
well, since you're reading them all, I wanted to hear that one
It's pop quiz.
too. She missed me.
So the data subcommittees become more grounded in who we serve through data. And so they're going to, I think right now they're going to create a survey perhaps, and that's Susan and Kathleen. They're data people. Yeah.
okay.
Thanks.
So the next one is policy subcommittee, and that is Maria, Julie, and Kathleen, who's not here. Do we have anything we want to cover?
I don't think we had a meeting together, the 3 of us, but there have been things that we have attended in various configurations of the 3 of us.
That's right.
Yes.
I have notes from the CAPS events that occurred on February 24th and 25th, the movie screening at the IU Cinema of the documentary the title has escaped me now. Yes, Reimagining Safety, thank you. And then the 25th was the panel discussion with the director, the director of the documentary, as well as local folks that are Care Not Cages, I believe. I can't remember who all was on the
Indiana
panel.
Recovery
Yes.
Alliance.
Yes.
And then that
and then the
lovely person from Kentucky,
from Kentucky.
Amber.
Are you being serious or facetious?
I'm being serious. She was a.
I thought she was from
Force.
Memphis.
Yeah.
Okay, so Tennessee, a little farther south.
I believe Memphis.
South of the Ohio.
Yes. So there were, I clearly don't have great notes from it, but yes, it was a fantastic panel that,
Was it well attended?
ish. Yeah. I mean, it was a small room but there were, it was a full small room. So I don't know. And there were folks that were attending online. I don't know how many people were online, but that was also happening because one of the panelists was actually remote virtual attending.
right.
Yes.
I highly recommend the documentary. It was very well done, I thought. And then I want to mention that Isabel Piedmont Smith attended both days, and we saw Hopi Stosberg.
Yeah.
I'm just making things up. At the second day, I'm not sure if she was there, if they were there on the.
Isabel and Hopi were both at the panel.
Right. I saw Isabel at the screening,
Oh, cool.
but I did not see Hope. I'm not sure if Hopi was there. So we can't say. So I thought that was awesome that Isabel was there. This is important work that the CAPS Commission is doing. I think we should amplify their work as much as possible.
They have a report that is available, and I could link it in our meeting notes. It's been available since this summer, which I was realizing I'd had it downloaded for months, and I hadn't actually looked at it. And then I got to this commission, and I was like, that report. And then I was like, I've had that this whole time, and I need to actually go read it. Yeah.
Where else have we been, Julie?
We did that, and then on February 26th, you and I attended the IRACS meeting with Jamie Whitaker from the company that Jamie Whitaker is with. I think I can't remember.
One word.
MHAI, Mental Health Association of.
Oh, it's MHA.
MHA, is that what it is? It's not Mental Health Association. It's something, yeah.
Alliance or something.
Alliance, maybe, I think. But that is the person who is basically implementing or proposing to implement the IRACS program here in Monroe County. And that was an interesting presentation, I think. And there were some really strong feelings and interesting perspectives from public comment as well, which was good. And I hope that continues, that we keep hearing from the community.
Mental Health America of Indiana.
There we go. Mental Health America of Indiana.
So just a summary. It's literally a management system, a management of resources. And I actually texted Ruben to ask if that's accurate. And he said that's a good way of putting it. It is another layer of resources that is designed to benefit the people incarcerated. So basically, there would be a team trained through this, whatever it's called, IRACS program, that would start meeting with people once they were incarcerated to see what their needs were. But literally, it's a management team to manage the resources to make sure, and then they follow them for 2 weeks. It's a fairly new program. Somebody asked, and they would hire 3 to 4 individuals to work this program, and that wouldn't be from any of the organizations that currently exist. There are pros and cons, like to everything. I do want to emphasize that this is a relatively new program, so there's not they have some data for sure.
Yeah, there were questions about, what about the organizations that already exist and are already working here, and how do they fit in, and what they are, I think, what they're aiming for is potentially coordinating those organizations, but whether or not that is actually what happens is not clear yet. So there's
How that happens,
right?
and how much it costs.
Yeah. And there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 counties in Indiana who have are kind of piloted this, I think, and it's maybe been a year that they've had this in place, which is why they're saying they don't really have a whole lot of data yet to show the impact. So there were questions I asked about.
And in terms of the CAPS Commission, share with them what your question was and what the answer was.
Well, yeah, I asked if any of these IRACS programs had resulted in less of a need for jail facilities or jail personnel. Like, is it reducing the need to have incarceration in those counties? And they're saying they don't know yet, and that's not something that they're actually tracking right now. So I was kind of like, that would be potentially good to know if budgets are decreasing because of the IRACS program, because you don't have as many people incarcerated anymore. That would be nice to know. So that would seem potentially worth it.
Yep. It was interesting. What else have we done, Julie?
Well, I have this suggestion, which is something we could meet about. I have the suggestion to see what we can find out from those counties in terms of budgets, because they just basically haven't asked the question. But we could ask the question of those counties to ask if their incarceration budgets, for lack of a better term, have actually decreased or not.
I think we should.
And my guess is that they have not. Yeah, it's Blackford County, Delaware County, Dearborn County, Scott County, and Davies County. Mm-hmm. So, but even so, they all have budgets, and it'd be interesting to know, like, if it's making any difference to what they need or not. So.
And where they are with the new jail is that there's a third location being looked at West State Road 46 and Hunter Valley Road, I believe. So it sounded like they were already doing their next step was to do a feasibility, or was that done?
Saying the words feasibility study, it's like I keep hearing people say the feasibility study on the current jail never actually happened. It never actually finished up. That's a kind of a question that's out there. There's just an assumption. Mm-hmm. There's just somehow been an assumption that it is not even worth it to consider. But a feasibility study has not actually been done.
So that's where they are with the jail.
Say that again? They haven't. Where are they thinking now? I don't
West State Road 46 and Hunter Valley Road. Kind of, it's a little too far, I think, but if you think about it.
Well, I know there was a forum last night, and I know that they were talking about some stuff, and I know I've heard some comments that about making it, people were upset. I think that it's been divisive about all the services being relocated or just certain things being relocated. And I was like, why is that an issue? Because all we ever heard from the sheriff and jail staff is that everything does need to go together.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know.
What form was it?
We had a youth. Oh, that's where I wanted the jail. Anyway, we had an event at the Comedy Attic last night.
Oh, that's
it was a
right.
youth forum. And so, yeah, that was some talk.
They are also talking about sustainable funding for the transition team, and not necessarily for the transition team, but for the backfill of the transition team, because I guess per pony training, the transition team should come from current jail staff. Right. And so if they pull them out for the transition team, then they need to backfill that and with correctional officers. And onboarding takes 8 weeks at minimum. And they're also wondering where that money is going to come from. So they're talking about that. In terms of still the jail situation, I met this woman at the Monroe County Inclusive Advantage meeting from New York. She's currently working with the Indiana Recovery Alliance. Her name is Tina Reynolds, and she is one of the founders of Women on the Rise. And I just read a book called Saving Our Own Lives is what it was called. And it was talking about advocacy and just advocacy and intersectionality and harm reduction and things like that. And I have her contact information. She would be more than willing to talk to us. She worked a lot with, and then Women on the Rise is a program that helps incarcerated women. So Tina Reynolds herself was arrested 61 times during the war on drugs, and she gave birth in prison in handcuffs and shackles. She's a phenomenal individual, has a wealth of knowledge. And I told her, I talked to her about middle way stuff too, because she was a sex worker. And so we were talking about the difference between sex work and human trafficking. And then I said, another thing that I wanted to talk to you about was the Monroe County Women's Commission. We have the subcommittee, blah, blah, blah. And she said she'd be more than happy to talk with us at some point. So yeah. I think that'd be a great perspective to get and to share with commission, council, sheriff. That's all I have. And then our next meeting should be the 28th, next week, right? The 4th Thursday.
I think that is correct.
Yeah. So again, policy subcommittee, Maria,
Yes.
Julie, Kathleen, we're just going to meet on Zoom at 5:30. If and when we have pressing things to edit, to discuss, we'll adjust and meet in person, because we all think that connection's important too. And until then, we will meet on Zoom. Excuse me. The end. Thus ends my report.
As always, can I jump back to profile and ask a question? Should we or can we ever think about doing something next year for a International Women's Month or Women's History Month? Sure. I don't know where that would go. I mean, as a whole group thinking about, if we as a commission, if that's something we want to do, and focusing you know, because it would probably take us a year to make something happen, to find money, to decide what we want to do our own thing.
I know when it's been brought up about social media stuff, we're supposed to use the county commissioner's page, right? If we started to plan that, and then maybe like every day in March next year, we're posting something about the Women's Commission at least, like just a baby step for that. Does that make sense?
I mean, whatever, I don't know, whatever wants to be done, or even where it would come from, or if it should be in a subcommittee, or, well, it should be profile, maybe.
We'll look at it.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'll write it
It was
down.
just a thought. We talked about it last year, and I was thinking about it again the other day, so.
Or maybe it can also be tied into the outreach committee.
Yeah, I was thinking, I couldn't just,
Yeah,
either
because,
one.
yeah, that'll give us some more things to work on, maybe.
I mean, I know Senator Yoder would be probably very helpful in us getting something off the ground too. Or,
Yeah, that would be outreach, I feel like.
speaking of outreach,
Yeah, we met, was it 2 weeks ago? So we met and we talked about the girls' coding, web design camp. And we drafted a message and sent it to Molly Turner King. And we got a response back that we should change the name, take out girls' web design camp. And our friend here, Julie, responded very promptly and said we should maybe call it the Monroe County Women's Web Design Camp. And then also with references to what happened at IU with the men's basketball team and the women's basketball team. Because for the men's basketball camp, it says boys only, for girls to go to the Terry Morin camp. So,
Good one, Julie.
and also, I mean, we talked about even at Monroe County Community Schools with the gyms, they, for gyms, it's for girls, but they opened it to boys or other genders, but they still market it towards girls. So we said we have to have a vote if we want to change it to Monroe County Commission's Women.
Yeah, just calling it Monroe County Women's Commission Web Design Camp.
That's it. So we
And there's nothing in the MOU that says boys can't attend. So,
no, we didn't say that.
yeah.
So we can get it moving.
no, but has the issue was, I thought, both from IU and from Monroe County, correct?
It is. Yeah.
Which doesn't make any sense to me because last summer IU ran a girls' camp for coding or whatever it was because one of my coworkers.
Yeah,
was
we
a part
ran
of
it
so-
from, was it engineering? I'm not sure. I don't know where we ran it through, but yeah, I wasn't involved. I take breaks in the summer. But yeah, I think it stems for what's going on with all these different bills and everything else that IU's just trying to be careful. I
I have no idea.
don't care, but I have no clue.
Oh, wait, we
But-
can call it or we're still
We would,
waiting?
if we, I'm making a motion that we change the camp name to the Monroe County Women's Commission Web Design Camp. And if we approve that, if that is approved, then we can take that back to Molly Turner King and ask that is what the MOU is for. And that is, we move forward with that. And hopefully we move forward with that with IU.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Hi.
Aye.
Thank you.
It is
So-
now the Monroe County Women's Commission Web Design Camp.
Right. It's going to be
Yes.
awesome.
That's a short thing to say.
And, we'll use our acronym, we'll
Okay,
shorten it.
okay.
And Mocha welcome.
That's right. Moco Woco Web Design Camp.
It's not a fart, that was my chair.
So we're gonna continue to meet on Zoom and then we'll meet in person as needed. What day, was that Monday? I can't remember when we met. I was
Let me
just
see if
trying
I
to get it
added
on the
it. I don't-
book.
I don't know if I got that on my calendar. It's Mondays that we were talking about meeting, but I don't remember if we
think
decided
it's-
like how regularly on Mondays.
Oh, yeah, we didn't get to that part. We're just in a waiting pattern. That's why it'd be good if we did have if we could help plan another outreach event or something, and I think that was a good idea. So we have
Well,
something else to discuss.
You people have all the range in the world to try to figure something out.
Thank you for that. I'm curious about something. If the the opposing, I can't even grasp the words right now. The Board of Commissioners made a proclamation on International Women's Month on whatever day that was. I listened very, very closely, and as can anybody, because it's on Cats, and I would highly recommend that people listen to that the people on the outreach subcommittee listen to that.
I'll put the link in the notes.
Thank you. And I'm curious as to if anybody wants to say anything about what the proclamation said, and the fact that per Molly Turner King, the Board of Commissioners said that Girls Web Design Camp was discriminatory against boys. I'm wondering if that is going to be addressed in any way by this subcommittee.
I'm not sure how we can address that other than saying this is about equity. We're not going for something that is about equality. We're trying to support girls. We're trying to support women in STEM. That's the point of doing this. It's always been the point. That's our mission as a commission, is to support women, not to go for equality. We're trying to do something that's equitable, and that is uplifting women and girls. So
That's right. So I'm wondering if anybody from that subcommittee would want to attend office hours and have a conversation and or public comment at a Board of Commissioners meeting.
Depending on when it is, I think that'll be good. I mean, because we always had great conversation around the camp, and I'm wondering where this came from. Yeah. So yeah, I think that'll be good.
I agree. I'm interested in getting this settled so that the camp can move forward as well. So I don't know if we want to aim for figuring out how to get this camp moving forward with this name change. Does this do it? Do we have something that we can move forward with, and then have this conversation about what's going on? Where's, why is there a change? Because this is a change, because this camp has already occurred in the past, and now it can't occur this way.
That's right. I think it's a both and. Mm-hmm. Because this brings up a question that has not been ever answered since I've been on the commission, or since Nichelle has been on the commission. It has been asked of the Board of Commissioners and the county council who our governing body is, right? So the Board of Commissioners and the county council appoint us. So we're a mixture of appointees from both entities. Who is our governing body, right? So who is our boss?
Yeah, and does it,
and so I want to know that. I think we all need to know that. And then depending on what that answer is, we'll determine next steps, because if it's written somewhere in the archives or whatever that county council's our governing body, then the Board of Commissioners can't tell us we can't have girls coding camp. So I think it's a both and, because it's a bigger issue that will continue to happen, or will continue to be a challenge going forward, and we need to get girls or our coding camp situation happening. So I don't know if the bigger issue might want to go to exec, like Susan, have the conversation with the commissioners about this situation, about not being, you literally cannot be discriminatory against boys. Exactly the same way that there's not reverse racism. And so the Board of Commissioners telling us that it was discriminatory, they will not participate in anything I'm sorry, that was not nice. Anything discriminatory is a problem. And it's a problem if they're not our governing body. So we need to figure out who our governing body is.
We serve the county government, so I think that's the commissioners and probably
It
council.
might be that the not the bylaws, but however our the article, whatever that article is that's linked up on the site that started the commission, that was modified like with the number of people that would be that could be on the commission stuff, that might specify something. I don't know.
It might, and it might not.
Yeah.
So either way, I mean, I feel like if it does, then the question could have been answered very quickly, right? And it hasn't been answered for years.
Yeah.
So we need to, I'm wondering if, again, this bigger picture question comes out of the subcommittee, goes to exec, and we try to we have the conversations about that out, away from the girls coding camp questions. Susan?
I'm listening.
I mean, hopefully we get a response for Molly, because we sent this on March 5th and it's just slowing. I mean,
Yes.
I think it's sad that every single year, even before we did the coding camp, when we joined the commission, that it's always a point of contention.
Yeah.
And it's like, we had that meeting, the three of us with Molly and I forget the other nice lady's name. Angie. And it was like, yep, it's a go. We're going to do it. And it was fine then. But then we draft this MOU. We get the understanding, whatever. Then it's a problem. It's another block. Like, I mean, I think all these barriers are put up. And that's why we're doing a girls' coding camp, because women in STEM face the same barriers.
Absolutely.
And so I think that's really sad.
And I think the emphasis is on we're doing this camp.
Yeah.
And I would like to change something, make sustainable change to get clarity, so we don't have to go through this every time. I mean, this is ridiculous, to be honest.
And I mean, the issue is just in general, right? I mean, not just even moving forward with the camp, but as we create anything.
Who is our governing body?
Well, not even that, but yes, I mean that, and are we going to constantly face barriers to try to get things done?
Well, if they'll tell us no, and we'll just have to see.
Well, if the commissioners change this year.
But if we get clarity on who our governing body is, that would be extremely helpful.
I mean, my guess is it's the commissioners, but
We can even read the article and figure it out ourselves.
Yeah.
So I think that's why we should call a meeting.
Well, I mean, there are ex officio members from both the council and the commission that are supposed to be part of our group, and we're not seeing them here, and we're not hearing from them. So, and for the Board of Commissioners, I'm not exactly sure who that is this year. Has it been declared who the ex officio person
No, they
is?
don't pay it. So Jennifer has had a death in the family.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. I knew that Jennifer is ex officio for the council, but hasn't been able to make it. But yeah, we don't even have an ex officio person from the commissioners this year.
So are we agreed, or do we need to vote? I don't know if we need to vote, but that we take that piece, who is our governing body, out of that subcommittee, into exec, if you will, like whatever. So that means me and or Susan together would probably be great. So we, we can both hear the same thing at the same time, and and then the subcommittee just focus on
Yeah.
the girl.
That would
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's.
Susan?
Because we're trying to
I'm
move
listening.
ahead.
I mean, do you agree with that? Do we have to
Yes.
agree? Like, I don't know.
You wanna
No.
vote? No, I don't think we have to vote on that.
Aye. Okay.
The thing that's interesting to me is that so many of the women in the government now came from here. Julie Thomas was a part. Shelley Yoder was a part. I mean, there's been some really interesting women in the county that have been a part of this and have gone on to other things that you'd be thinking that we would have more support.
Yeah.
And it's not even like we're not even asking for the moon.
So Susan, why don't you and I come around a time when we can both attend office hours?
Yeah, sooner
We'll
than
figure that
later.
off. We'll figure that out offline.
Yes.
Julie, you said you're putting a link for that proclamation in our notes.
Yes, and you said, Maria, do you know the date of the commissioners' meeting that proclamation happened?
I know if I had a computer, it'd be fine. It'd be
Fine.
easier.
That's fine. It'll be March something.
I think it was 3/6.
March 6th? Okay, I will find that, yeah.
Yep. VOC Women's History Month proclamation is in direct opposition to what is going on with the girls going campus, what I wrote.
Thank you. All right. Okay. I think that's our subcommittee, outreach
Okay,
subcommittee.
good, thank you.
See, so I don't think, I mean, and certainly we're still gonna ask, but I mean, based on our chapter 230 or whatever, I mean, I don't see that. I mean, we may seek approval from the Monroe County Board of Commissioners to undertake other duties and may proceed to perform such duties when specifically directed to do so by the Board of Commissioners. That's B, but then in A, it says the commission may undertake specific initiatives assigned to it by the Monroe County Board of Commissioners and/or the Monroe County Council.
We just need clarification.
Well, and I know I was supposed to last time and I haven't, and I finally put them, because their office hours changed all the time, or changed this year, and I put them on my calendar and I didn't get to go because I was going to talk about the press release, which is a whole other thing. But I haven't, but I've also been in a conversation offline, was talking about, it is freedom of speech and we could say whatever we wanted to. However, I don't know.
And that is once again something that's under the umbrella of who is our governing body, because county council hasn't said anything, nor have we maybe sent it to them. I don't know. But if, again, county commissioners are not our governing body and they're telling us we can't do a press release, well, then that's a moot point. We go ask county council. So we need to know.
I feel like we're playing the parents
No,
against each other.
It would just be good to get
No, we're
clarification.
not. We are just
Yeah.
asking for clarity.
I know, I get it, but it feels like we could, so.
Well, we can do anything move on.
Okay, so outreach, you all are good?
Yeah, I think we're done.
Yeah, I'm not sure when our next meeting is, but we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
we're good.
Thank you so much.
We're just waiting on the answers first.
Well, I have nothing from data. We have not moved forward with anything yet, but we will shortly. So, I mean, my guess, yeah. It's not going to be a fast moving thing, so.
did not add this to the agenda, but I kind of sort of have a secretary update that our Google Calendar, our shared Google Calendar, we're seeing things on there that are no longer they no longer happen. And I think I want to try, if I can, as secretary, to clean that up and take the things off at least that aren't actually real anymore. Because I felt really bad that you were like, I'm going to go to this, and I was like, that's not a thing anymore. It's not happening.
I know, but I'm an idiot. Of course, it's not CJRC anymore. Duh, it's JFAC. I didn't.
But yeah,
so
we need to keep up on this calendar if we want to make it useful. So I want to try and do
Are you
that.
not editors? I mean, are you
I
guys,
think that I can edit. I just haven't. So I think I want to try and do that, and then see if there are meetings that we need to have on there that we don't have on there right now. Because I think we just need to freshen it up for this year,
it changes
probably.
in
Yeah,
managerial. So anybody,
I think that I can.
all of us can do stuff
Yeah.
with that. So
But I
Thank
think
you,
as
Julie.
secretary, I'm just gonna give it a go. So
She's the best.
we'll see
Secretary.
if this works.
okay. Because I'd originally gone through and added
Right.
everything, and things have changed.
Like
but-
2 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's fine. We tried. I'm not running this meeting. Go ahead.
So I don't think there's anybody here for public comment. I think it's
Would
all CATS
anyone like
people.
to
I think
give
it's
public
all
comment?
Staff that's
Just
on
ask
there.
for it. It's on the agenda. Ask for it.
Public comment. Is there anybody that'd like to give public comment
On Zoom.
on Zoom?
Raise their hand.
Teams.
Oh, yeah, Teams.
Not seeing public comment. Do we have any other last minute business? Otherwise, I'm going to call this meeting to adjournment at 6:26 p.m.
I just wanted to let you know, I did have a friend apply to the commission. Her name is Allison May. I'm not sure if it's been received. I don't know how those end up or how many we have. She's very interested. She's very involved in sectors that I'm not involved in. So I think she would be a good addition. I just wanted to maybe throw that name out to you.
Yeah, I had sent an email of asking where we were. Maybe we can ask that during the office hour meeting too, because I have a young lady that I would love, Shayla George, to get on this committee.
Oh, I think I'm working with her on David's campaign. She a college student?
Yes. She might have just graduated, or she's gonna graduate. I think she's going to graduate in next month.
Okay, I'm pretty
I'm
sure that's who
telling
it,
you.
yeah.
I wanted her for middle way board, but the board was like, our process is over for this year, so I would love to get her for this commission.
Do we have any vacancies at this point? We do not have vacancies at this point.
No. We do not.
6, 7. So we have 7. We would have to go to 9.
I would love more bodies.
So if her
However-
friend and then Shayla,
However, the problem with 9 is that would top out some of our subcommittees to 4. So therefore, that would not be great. So they would not be joining subcommittees right
because
away.
4 is
That'd be-
always quorum.
Yes.
But wouldn't it be okay if newest members didn't participate in subcommittees and can maybe navigate their way to what they're, no?
I
They have
disagree
to-
with that. I think we
Okay.
need to get people immediately involved and.
I mean, my only thought would be people that have, like Jennifer who has 2, Julie is on 2, you're on 2. I mean, execs should be on every one, in my opinion, but maybe not. We don't need to be, is that everyone just steps back and is only on 1? That would be the possibility.
Yeah.
But I mean, I am not against us growing, because the more people, the more worker bees we have that we can get things done, and obviously perspective and all those kind of things as well. But yeah, I would be for more if we thought we had, yeah. God, wouldn't it be great if we had 11 people in here? Like it back in the day?
Yeah, and I think we can, but let's just do one step at a time. And as we get people involved, or as we have people that are interested,
And again, the commissioners, when I talked about that before, argument was we're not limiting people to participating with the commission. They don't have to be on the commission to be involved in what we do. And I know, I mean, that's what we've been told. I've been told in the past, which is true.
Oh, that's right.
So, I mean, people can still be involved. They just have to show up, so. But I do get, it's not the same being on the commission. It's more that forced work. I mean, you know what I mean?
The expectation.
Yes.
Okay, so we'll ask that. I'll make a note here. Governing body and growth.
Well, then, yeah, and we can talk about this in office hours. That's all I have. Do I have a motion to adjourn? Do I have a second? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Meeting adjourned. Thank you, everyone.
Hey.